They say that fear is the beginning of the turn to the dark side. Well, maybe Disney right now is turning dark because much fear has captured the House of Mouse as they continue to battle back Nelson Peltz, Jay Rasulo, and attempt to hold all of the board seats to Iger loyalists. But they're going so far now that they've turned to the emotions from Inside Out 2 to try to defend themselves in the proxy war. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel. It is a joy to have you here with us. We are so thankful that you have elected to be a part of this effort to explain entertainment and keep people ahead of the culture curve. We do so with a gusto of pure, unfiltered excellence. And that is the type of video we're bringing to you today as we talk about Disney's recent disarray, their decision, perhaps, to use Inside Out 2 as a way to draw attention away from Nelson Peltz and Jay Rasulo, two men who want to be on the Disney board and seem to have struck a chord such that even Bob Iger fears they may pull it off. Fear is the operative emotion at the C-suite of Disney. Folks, we have a tremendous panel to bring on for you now. Let's discuss it all. All right, here's what we've got, folks. Before the town hall began with Nelson Peltz and Jay Rasulo, and this really speaks to just how scared Disney must be of this. And they act more scared than I would have ever thought they would. But apparently they must be, because before, and we're talking about like 30 minutes before the town hall, and this cannot be coincidental. My estimation there, my speculation. But just before, Disney releases the Inside Out 2 trailer, and it's not just that they release the trailer, they also release a press release. How often does Disney release a press release with a movie trailer? It's not even the debut trailer. It's just a trailer.
Never.
So here's the press release they put out, and there's something I want to hyper focus on because this is so ludicrous that you just have to see it to believe it. So we're gonna get to that. But know that the window of when this was released really matters, because it seems to me they were trying to do, Jonas, what we've talked about in the past. Remember, Disney's going to raise the park ticket prices. So what do? They tell you can go to water parks for free, except you really can't. But that makes the headline, and then they try to bury the bad news. So they're trying to bury the bad news of Nelson Peltz and Jay Rasulo with this. Here's the article. Here's the press release. I'll tell you what we need to key on. It's beautifully bad. A new trailer and poster were released today for Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, which welcomes new emotions to now teenager Riley's mind. Directed by Kelsey Mann and produced by Mark Nielsen, with a score by Andrea Datzman, the animated feature film will release exclusively in theaters on Friday, June 14th, 2024. Additional voice cast was also announced today, joining joy, anger, sadness, fear, and disgust. And by the way, fear sounds terrible. Bad recasting there. Is a group of emotions perfectly suited for the teenage years. And here we go, folks. This is where this just gets modern Disney. Hang on to your butts. Maya Hawke voices anxiety. Okay? Now that we've talked about that. We're not going to talk about that. I mean, panelists, if you want to, you can. We got bigger stuff to talk about now, because here are the other ones. Envy, voiced by Ayo Idibiri, I think.
Idibiri, yeah.
Okay, so that one, Envy, whatever. Okay, Envy can be a little enemy. That's fine, or a little bad guy, a little bad girl. Doesn't matter. This is the one that this is just perfect modern Disney. Is it pronounced Ennui?
Ennui.
Ennui, messieurs and madames. Ennui, who's voiced by Adele Exarchopoulos? Do I have that? Do I have my Greek right?
I think you're right. Exarchopoulos.
Close, yeah.
Okay. Ennui is an emotion, is a major emotion. Ennui. Now, the fact that I didn't know how to pronounce that, by the way, folks, ennui is the emotion you feel when you feel blasé or just slightly bad about something. That's ennui. This is an emotion that they are inserting into this movie on the same level as fear and joy and sadness. Ennui. This is just bonkers. And then you've got embarrassment. Embarrassment is another one. So here's what I think. I think they're making Space Jam 3. I think that this is the Monstars team of emotions. They're going to bottle up the good emotions, and here we go. But of all the emotions you could come up with, ennui. That is like you ran out of bad emotions, and you were like, okay, what do we got? Start finding stuff that we don't even recognize in America, but somewhere in some country they've got a name for it. So
Pro, I had the unfortunate experience of watching this trailer.
How'd that go for you?
None of these new characters, new emotions are interesting at all. Envy, that's just a knockoff of disgust. And in the trailer, you see that basically all the new emotions have trapped all the old ones in a bottle. I actually felt bad for them. Who the heck cares
Lorena,
about ennui?
isn't fear just isn't embarrassment just fear of failure, fear of the past?
Yeah,
I mean, embarrassment is
with the plumber's crack, a pink plumber's crack.
Yeah, a lot of these emotions are like 0.0s of stuff we already got, and I barely
like
remember
Z-tier,
the first
Tom.
film.
Like
Yeah, I know.
Z-tier of emotions.
And the only part that made me laugh in the whole trailer was the part when we got to see in the mom's head, and she's like, "Oh, this is a preview of the next 10 years or whatever."
10 years,
you know,
yeah.
Because parents of teenagers, yes, that was funny. But outside of that, like, I'm very confused at what I was seeing here. I didn't find it.
Come on, Tom, look at that. That looks enticing.
Enticing at all. Like, and again, like you guys said,
you mean you don't want to go watch Ennui and Melancholy and Blasé?
No, and I think you guys are right. They're just going to lock up all the old emotions, and then we're going to get some silly subplot about her getting feelings for this other girl, and it's just
this is a very strange blend of visual styles. If I had a room of students and I asked them to draw your favorite thing, a dream you had, and then I just collected them all, I photoshopped them into an image, a really weak image that I guess the central character, the orange, almost Elmo ripoff variant, is
cracked out Muppet.
I guess.
Yes, I like that.
Muppet
It's
is what I'm
true.
calling that one.
Well, in reality,
so this is my immediate reaction. Don't you think America will have that similar reaction? I have a background in graphic design, so that's just like where I come from. I look at this and everything. It's just bizarre. And
You're saying that's going to be tough to merchandise.
The combination of everything that everyone is hearing about this, there's absolutely nothing to grab onto. I think that they're interested in at all. And I speak French, and I say that not really trying to promote it, because in the United States, not many people speak French. They don't know what ennui is, and ennui actually is not a very strong emotion. It's not really it's interesting. Perhaps they'll weave it in a way, and maybe they will introduce this French term to America, and America will enjoy learning about ennui. And I will be wrong, but
it's such a specific thing. It's like, why don't we call it malaise? It's a general, like, it's almost a melancholy boredom.
Yeah, like whatever.
It's so that college student friend you had that they went to Europe and they come home and they have a new dog, and the new dog is ennui. And it's the same idea, I think. So these elitists, these people that are in charge of these projects, they do travel. I'm sure they like fine French cuisine, and they like going to the south of France and hang out in the Mediterranean. But really, does this really resonate? I would say no. Make room for new emotions. Do you know what? America is not in the mood to make room for new emotions.
No.
You look at
misreading the room.
How about make room for fun? How about make room for entertain my kids? How about do it in a family-friendly way? Why don't you do it in a vintage way? Do it in a Walt Disney 50s, 60s way. We I grew up on 70s Walt Disney. That's kind of a style in and of itself that they could revisit, perhaps, if they knew their own material, if they respected their own material. And so,
well, I just find it interesting that Disney thought this was the way to counter the town hall. Clearly releasing this with a press release, it had to be. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're so big they have to release it when they did. There's just so much stuff to talk about.
Well, and I'm not even a fan of this specific franchise anyway, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it's no secret. I love classic Pixar, but all their movies are a ripoff of something that already existed.
What's your favorite
Pixar
Pixar
movie?
Movie, Tom?
Very blatant. Probably somewhere between the original Toy Story and WALL-E, I guess.
I think WALL-E's the best.
The WALL-E has probably, and that's just because that's one of the more original ones. Because, like, look at Cars. It's Doc Holliday. It literally is Doc Holliday. Bugs Life is Seven Samurai, right? I
Doc-
mean,
I think you
even
mean
to
Doc
little kids
Hollywood.
don't know
little
that,
kids
though.
don't know that. No,
They don't
and I'm
know
fine
that.
with that. That's not the point, though. The one that bothers me the most, and always did bother me, though, was Inside Out, because my joke was I liked it better the first time. It was called Herman's Head. Not only is it more of a blatant ripoff in a way, but it's something that I don't think should necessarily be directed towards kids, because kids are already emotional enough, right? In this society now,
Right.
we've got an emotion problem already with kids. Kids should not be thinking about stress and anxiety at that age already. Because that's the thing is, who do they think the demographic for this movie is? It's
I mean,
not
for an
12,
8-year-old.
13,
If I can
14
just
year olds.
respond to what
Exactly.
Tom said,
It's 7 or
Tom-
8 year olds.
absolutely
but with
correct.
the-
These
with the
people who
first
come
one-
into schools and give kids surveys asking them about if they've ever thought about hurting themselves, these people that are putting ideas into kids' heads because
Yes.
they're trying to measure their mental state. This is what I see when I hear that they're going to say that anxiety is an emotion. I would debate someone on the idea that we need to introduce that concept to a child of what anxiety is, and they go, "Oh my goodness,
Well,
I have anxiety." Anxiety is a
Exactly.
disease. It is a symptom. It is a mental health symptom, and we don't need to, as the conversation with Alan Ing that we had on this channel so long ago, we don't need to be teaching children to live with. If the first film where sadness and joy needed to know that they were tinging each other's core memories here, we don't want to teach children that anxiety needs to tinge all of their memories. That is something that is so disappointing and dark and nihilistic, and unfortunately, kind of what I associate with Disney right now.
Well,
yeah.
I'll just add to this. This new one, no, definitely not for kids. The first Inside Out, I did not have a problem with that.
No, I
It
think
was
it's a great movie.
taught
Bing
on a
Bong.
kid's level. You had Bing Bong, memories that you had forgotten, having to deal with memories, dealing with
Broccoli
fear,
on
how you
pizza.
couldn't get rid of sadness. You needed sadness to be able to work through certain things. Kids have those emotions like that. But it was on a level that kids can understand. This thing, no.
Right.
No.
And it's tough
Well-
to tough to think that the average parent's going to say, "Yeah, I want my 5-year-old to be watching anxiety."
And that's what I was
Anxiety.
getting at. Exactly. It's
know?
not like this movie's being geared towards 12, 13, 14 year olds where that conversation's a little different, right? And as I said in the chat, just jokingly, I said they might as well had at the end of this brought to you by Pfizer, right? Because it's like, what kid, what after this, because that's the thing,
Tom,
you talk to
you're
your kid
spoiling
about
the
this.
ending of the movie. This is how
I
it's
know,
all
right?
resolved.
Because she's going to end up taking some miracle med. Yeah.
Think,
Lorazepam, here you go.
Tom, think how far we have come from Monsters Inc., where they kind of deal with the same issues. And it's so fun. And you can take a child to see Monsters Inc. and you, the adult, I saw it as an adult, essentially, and I really enjoyed it. And 20 years later, it's like such the weakest facsimile of something like that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have had a great time today. We hope you did as well. If so, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below, and make sure to share this thing out on your favorite social media networks before you head out the door. It has been an honor, as always. Folks, wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.